I'll start like I traditionally do. This is an unbelievable venue. The SEC Championship, we've told our players it's just incredible in terms of the atmosphere, the opponent you play. I mean, typically for us, it's been a play-in or play-out game. I just have a lot of respect for this conference, the universities in it, Greg Sankey, our president, President Moorhead, Josh Brooks. The support they've given us has given us an opportunity to be at the point we are right now. Texas is a tremendous football program and team. They have got big physical defensive linemen, offensive linemen, and they are a really strong SEC team. But our team never quit tonight. I was really proud of them. I thought our fan base helped us. So really proud of the win.
Thank you, Coach. A reminder, no video in the room. We'll have video back there. If you have a question for one of the players, please raise your hand, give your name and affiliation, and Katie and Catherine. Again, questions for players only right now. So we'll come up here. We'll start here in the front row.
David Pascal with Chattanooga. Tate, can you just talk about Gunner's performance and what he meant? And did he give just kind of a energized lift when he was in there, especially that first drive in the third quarter?
Yeah, I think Gunner did a great job stepping up like he had to. And him coming in the game, I think, made everybody realize that this is a new juice we got to come out of the second half with, and I think everybody did a great job with that.
Okay, we'll go over to our right.
Jack Patterson with WRBO in Columbus, Georgia. Dalen, you had 2 game-changing interceptions in this game. Just what were you seeing from viewers, and what went through your mind during those plays?
Well, I didn't really see anything from him just because I was a man. Yeah, I was a man, so I was looking at my guy. Just playing the man, just getting in a position to make that play is a great feeling. But I couldn't do it without any of my teammates or any of my coaches. So.
Okay, we're going to go right here, Chip.
For both players, if you could take this one at a time, just with Carson out at halftime and Gunner coming in, you guys just seemed extremely juiced up, whatever you want to say, about him coming in. Can you just talk about the emotional response it was to what looked like a dire situation?
Tate, why don't you start with that one?
All right. Yeah, of course, it's never a good thing when your starting quarterback goes out. But I think it was big for everybody in that locker room to let Gunner know that we believed in him and we had full confidence in him to get the job done.
Dalen?
Really just he did a great job stepping up. I kind of talked to him before we went on the field, just telling him, we all got your back. Like don't be nervous. Like you got this. And he did a great job stepping up.
Okay, we'll go right in front.
Yeah, Connor Riley, Dog Nation. Tate, Trevor, 94 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, game winner right there. He didn't play the last 3 games. What do you guys do over the course of the game to sort of open up the holes for him and allow him to have the performance that he had tonight?
Kind of just talk to him about what we're seeing, how the linebackers are playing, how they're playing up front on the combos and stuff like that, and then just keeping them confident and trusting us and knowing that eventually one's going to spit.
Okay, again, questions for players. Raise your hand. We'll go over to David. Okay. Other questions for players? We'll go back up here to the front, in front of me.
Tate, one more on the drama at quarterback. Everybody thought that was the last we were going to see with Beck. For him to come back on the field for that last snap, what was that like in that huddle?
I didn't really notice until I turned around and heard his voice giving the play call because I was trying to see what front they were in. But I think when we got the play and everybody saw it was Carson, it was pretty juiced up in that huddle, and then ended up being the play that won it.
Okay, we'll go back up here. Got a couple more in the front. We'll start right over here to the right.
Yeah, with you guys potentially earning the bye in the college football playoff, just how much do you guys need that rest, and how much do you think that extra game off will potentially help you guys given the season you've had?
Dalen, go ahead and start with that.
I think it's good. We get a chance to go back, see, to continue to get better and recover, take care of our bodies and stuff like that. So,
Tate?
Yeah, I think anybody at this point in the season could use some time off, and I think that's huge just to get back and work on ourselves and try to get healthier.
Okay, we'll go right in front of me.
Just given where college football is now, and this can be for either one of y'all, what kind of meant more, winning the conference championship or positioning yourselves now the way y'all have in the playoff?
I wanted to win the conference. That was something I came back for. I hated the way it felt after last year, so coming back and winning this is one of my goals.
Yeah, it was definitely big. We weren't really thinking about the future. We were just worried about winning the conference, like Tate said. So I was a part of the team last year that we came up short. So this one, it was a little more personal this time.
Okay, we'll go to our right in the back side of the room.
Questions for Dalen. Donnell Suggs, The Atlanta Voice. I wanted to ask you if you ever thought that you'd ever be the SEC championship game MVP.
Maybe, probably not, but I mean, it happened. So, yeah, I'm grateful for that. Somebody else got it.
All right, other questions for the players? Raise your hand. We've got one over on the, we have, no questions? All right, gentlemen, congratulations. Thanks for joining us. You're released to head back to the locker room. Thank you. We'll let them clear, and we'll continue on with questions for Coach Smart. All right, if you have a question for Coach Smart, raise your hand. We'll start back up here. Chip?
Coach, I feel like I have a million questions for you on that last sequence, but if you could just shed some light on what happened there. The gunner came out, I'm assuming, because the target was overturned, and then can you just talk about the craziness of that situation? First the call, then having to turn back to back, and was there any question about what y'all were going to do in that instant that had to be decided quick?
No, I can't remember what game it was this year. We had a targeting somewhere where a helmet came off, and the officials came over and told us that the kid could stay in if it was confirmed targeting, and he had to come out if it wasn't. And so it immediately came to my mind when it happened with Gunner. I just assumed he'd be able to stay in because I thought it was going to be targeting. Then I saw the replay and realized he led with his shoulder, and we were going to have to take a snap with another quarterback, which we were prepared to put Ryan in, Puglisi, and he knows the system. He knows what to do. But we felt like I think one of the offensive coaches said, Carson can take a snap. It's not an issue. So we did that, and I thought Mike and them had a good plan, really good plan on that play, and executed it. And it was a really physical play, and it's a good, quick decision because we had already burned our time out on defense. So we wanted to be efficient and not run down the play clock.
Coach, we'll go over to our right on the aisle.
Kirby, how do you feel about the place of conference championship games in the 12-team playoff era, and the idea that your team and Texas's team are taking on 60 more minutes of wear and tear while everybody else in the conference is at home?
I don't know what to say about that. I mean, you play football to play the game. Like you play football to win your conference. You're asking the wrong person about that because I have almost the same number of national championships as I do SEC championships, and I've had years I won the SEC that I didn't win the Natty, and then years I won the Natty that I didn't win the SEC. So it's they're really hard to come by, and I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting the direction of college football because I hate to say it, but I didn't think early in the pregame that the game had the same juice. They didn't think it had the same atmosphere that I've seen it have before. Now, once the game started, and I don't know if that's because more Georgia fans know where to tailgate and they're hanging out outside because they've been here for 7 straight years and they just hang out till the end. So the atmosphere improved, but it wasn't as electric early. And I think the game made it more electric because it was a great game. And the games that have been played in this venue for a conference championship are incredible. So for people to devalue that over a playoff, I just don't see it that way. I value SEC championships. I hold them in high esteem because the work it requires to do that is incredible.
Okay, we'll go over to our right, Coach, over to our right side.
Jack Patterson with WRBL out of Columbus. Coach, you've talked time and time again this season about the resiliency of your team, the willingness to never give up. Once again, it was on display tonight. Just what is it about this team that just never gives up even when the circumstances seem to be dire?
Yeah, I think Mike said it best when I was talking about our team. I said, man, we're beat up, we're tired. And I was talking to our staff this week about how to practice. And, this week was just absolutely absurd for Sark and I because we're trying to sign a signing class in the middle of a championship game week, which is one of the craziest things ever. And Mike said, we're mentally fatigued, but we're one of the toughest mentally tough teams that we've ever coached. Now, I've had more physically tough. I've had more physically talented, but I don't know that I've ever had a more mentally tough team. They just keep coming, and they never say die. And I have a lot of respect for the leaders in that room because of what they've been through. Probably the hardest schedule in the history that we've ever had, and they endured it. They came out on top, and they fought their way through it.
Coach, we're going to go straight in front of you, 3 rows back.
Yeah, Brooks Austin with Sports Illustrated. Coach, I thought one of the biggest swings in the game was the fake punt. If you could talk me through what was going on in the headsets, what you guys saw, and what went into the call.
Yeah, I got some history with fake punts in that building, so it's one that went our way, and something we've worked on. We carry it, and it was great design by our staff, Kirk Benedict and Coach Hartley and those guys, and they do a lot of work on punt. We have a lot of formations on our punt, and the biggest risk was snapping it to Drew Bobo. He had to catch it and toss it, so he'll go down in history with a higher passing percentage than his father at 1 for 1. So he should be 1,000%. But I just really appreciate Arian. I thought Dom Lovett had made an incredible play on that play because he got a look that we had not seen, and he made a decision versus two guys holding him up to go. He did what we told him not to do, but he did it because he got a different look, and it freed Arian up. Smile Munden had a key block on that. Did we end up scoring on that drive or no? I thought we got a field goal, yeah. So it gave us a field goal, gave us a little momentum, a little juice, and we had lost a little momentum at that point. I think that was after they scored the touchdown. And look, it's a lot easier to call it when you think you're going to be in the playoffs. Either way.
Okay, we'll go right in front here.
Yeah, Carson leaves at the end of the first half there. What is the status of his injury, and do you worry at all about how that might impact him before the playoff?
Yeah, he's got a upper extremity injury. We don't know to what extent. Basically, we looked at it in there, and it looked okay, but he couldn't have grip strength and throw the ball in the locker room. So it was a little bit painful for that. So we need to find out exactly what's going on and have to MRI and look into it.
Okay, we'll go right back up here up front.
Kirby, can you just talk about Gunner's play, especially, 3 really lengthy, time-consuming, one of them 9:22, I think, but just his play in the second half and how you thought he performed?
Incredible. I mean, the players believe in Gunner. They love Gunner. The juice that he brought and the passion and energy, and he lives with 3 or 4 of those guys, I don't know, Drew and Oscar and some of them, and it was like it gave us an added boost of energy. They were fired up. They were trying to keep him composed, and I thought the offensive staff did a good job helping Gunner out with the way they called the game. And he did a good job executing. The only mistake he had, and I feel like it was partially on us, is we just didn't get the call in. He got the call in early. He didn't get the call out. He didn't have time to evaluate what they were doing. And if he sees that, he can pick it up and do some things with it. But we were down on the shot clock, and he had the third down. He throws the pick there that could have been costly. But, man, the kid played just tough as nails. I mean, and he hadn't got to play much this year. That's the hardest part is you don't get a chance to play these guys. The Florida State game is probably the most he's played. But can't say enough about his toughness, character, whatever you want to say. The guy's a phenomenal leader. He made some good plays, and I think everybody else rose up around him.
Okay, we'll go over here to our right side, about halfway back.
Hey, Kirby, Graham Coffee, Dog Central. Talking about kind of everybody rising up around him. I think at halftime they had 2-1 possession on you guys. You guys finished the game with more time of possession, were able to go on those long drives. Your offensive line, was there a moment where they were kind of challenged to go and move people so you guys could run the ball and kind of help Gunner, or did that just kind of develop as the game went on?
Yeah, I got on them at halftime. I was disappointed because I think we got a good offensive line. We got good backs. And it wasn't that they were stoning us. We couldn't get the run game going. I mean, I didn't feel like it was just mashing us. I mean, we'd get 3 or 4. It's hard to run the ball in the SEC. They're the #1 defense in the country for a reason. But, man, if we were going to go out and have a chance to win, we were going to have to rally around Gunner. We were going to have to be able to run the ball. And we challenged the offensive line to say, hey, look, guys, and I do think that as we went, we're physical. You wear people down on snaps, long drives. They did it to us. I mean, there was long drives. It felt like for them. But look, it's a line of scrimmage game. Sark knows that. That's why he recruits the way he does, and he gets big people. We get big people, and that's the difference in our conference and the other conferences. I mean, everybody can find skill players. Everybody can find quarterbacks, receivers, DBs, but the mass in the defensive offensive line is the difference in it. And tonight, ours helped us in the rushing game. It's probably the only stat we outperformed them in was rushing.
Okay, we'll go right in front of me here, second row.
I can't remember the exact moment when Arian recovered that fumble to kind of save points. Can you take me what that was like? Because I was kind of jumpy there for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't even remember either. I think Nate made a great run, broke through there, and it looked like the guy did a great strip out, and then Aaron, like a missile, dove in between two of their players and recovered it. I feel like that ended in a field goal, though, because I had a tough decision there of 4th and 3 to go for it or take the points. And I felt like our defense was playing good enough that taking the points would be fine and we would hold them. We had a lot of momentum at that point, and I think they came back and scored a touchdown.
Okay, we're going to go straight in front of us on this near aisle.
Joey Lamar from WSAV. Coach, I guess 2 questions. One, can you walk us through the decision to go forward on 4th down from your own 30-yard line? And then 2, can you talk about Trevor Etienne's performance? He hadn't played since the Ole Miss game on November 9th, and almost 100 yards on the ground and another like 40 or 50 yards through the air, so over 100 yards, all-purpose yards, and 2 touchdowns, obviously.
Yeah, to me, Trevor Etienne's probably no disrespect to Dalen. I love Dalen. Dalen had a big game, and he got the MVP. But that's Trevor Etienne was the MVP because he came and said, "Coach, I want to play in this game." He's like, "I came to the school because I want to win a championship." He stood up in front of the team and told the team, like, I don't know how y'all feel about this game because I hadn't been here, but y'all have played in it a lot, and I haven't. And I want to play in this game. This game means something to me. I want to win this championship. It's part of the reason that I came here. I want to win an SEC championship. And he spoke from the heart. And I knew right then, I said, this dude's going to play if he can. And he plays physical. He's got cuts. And you know, we got good backs, but he made some special runs tonight that gave us some juice and energy, and he took some pressure off of Gunner. As far as the 4th and 3, I don't know which one you're referencing. You're talking about the fake punt? Yeah, I mean, we talked about it earlier. I just feel like we were losing momentum, and we needed a spark, and that gave us one. And you know, you're playing with your backup quarterback, so you got to be willing to take some risk at that point and get some things going.
Okay, we've got another question here to our left.
I may have missed this, Kirby. Did Gunner sustain a concussion, or where is he at right now with that?
No, I think he's fine. He was prepared to come back in the game. We won the game on the play that he was out, so he was fine.